Help me. What's
Kevin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys very well. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, Raymond? What's up, brother? Can I say something to me?
Hello. What's up?
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
No.
What's up, Teresa? What's going on, everybody? Listen, it's always technical difficulty for some reason when we get on this thing. I don't know why. Especially when we got on a guest like what we got coming on right now. Be fixing to knock your stocks off, man. If y'all listen, if y'all looking for financial gain,
Test
long
one.
You're looking for something long term, and you ready to be blessed, and we
Test one.
The investment in this one is going to be for real.
Test one.
Is the microphone thing?
Everything is on that I can see.
Can you hear me? Let me see this.
Unplug and reconnect.
You want me to check out and come back in?
There it is.
Okay.
We just heard you just say something again.
I said, do you guys want me to log out and come back in?
No, we are good to go.
We don't know what
We
this thing right
good.
here.
Okay.
Put it right in the middle of this. Listen, y'all. I promise y'all, man. Y'all better get ready for this one. We fixing to dive in, and I'm gonna listen. We fixing to bless y'all. If y'all want to be blessed tonight with some wisdom, some pure wisdom and understanding and financial literacy and how to, you guys better listen. Get your pen and paper ready. Get your bank statements ready.
The bank statement.
We want y'all to get y'all bank statements ready.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all to,
Get your mind right.
Get your mind right so y'all can start being prepared to pour your money in. I did a post today. I don't know if I posted it. I know I shot the video. And the video was, does God bless and honor your seed even when you know it's been sold into bad ground, unfertile ground, right? Does God honor your seed in unfertile ground? Well, here's the other part to that, the caveat to that. How much more of a blessing is God going to be with your finances because you're sowing it into great ground, not good ground. Good ground is okay. Great ground is outstanding. You get more of a return on your investment when you're investing in the great ground. So listen, when my wife get us up and going, we're going to introduce this wonderful. What's up, Arno? What's going on, man? We're going to introduce you to this wonderful woman of God. We're going to give the bio here in a second, and then we're going to dive into these questions, man. I promise you, y'all better get pen and paper ready. She fussed at me because me and her supposed to did some work together. But
we're not.
Bentley costing me $20,000 right now.
It's because it's a Bentley.
Bentley costing $20,000 to get fixed. What's up, Christina? How are you, daughter? You doing all right? How's everything going? Listen, y'all ready? We're gonna get ready to dive in. I'm gonna look on this thing too. We're on both platforms. I'm on two different things. I'm on several platforms out here, but we're gonna get ready to get started. Listen, my name is Kelvin.
And I'm Latanya.
And we're the Dooleys. Welcome to Marriage,
Business and Ministry.
Yes, sir. We about to get it in. Those are on this side, Facebook on this side. Listen, y'all guys be where to go? Go on YouTube. Go on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. YouTube. What's up? What's up, girl?
Hey, Kat.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Marriage, Business, and Ministry. See us live right now. I'm on Facebook on this side. I'm on YouTube on this side. I'm gonna talk to y'all over here. My wife gonna talk to y'all over there, and Hannah gonna talk to us on all of us. Yeah. She finna go in on us. Listen, my wife is gonna hit y'all with her bio. And then I'm going to get in with the question because I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yes. So on tonight, we have the pleasure, the honor of talking to the Miss Hannah Rouse. Yay!
The infamous
Navy, the infamous.
Not the infamous.
Hannah.
Yes, superstar. Yes.
Diva, superstar diva. Preacher. You're a preacher too.
No, sir. Wait a minute. Hold on.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood.
It is in the blood.
The whole time I thought
It is in the blood.
So Miss Hannah, we met Miss Hannah a couple of years ago when she came into the restaurant and she was talking to us about financial literacy. We was another program that we was trying to get up off the ground, but that's where we met her. Miss Hannah Rouse is a native from North Carolina, North Kakalaki, where she lived until she enlisted into the world's greatest Navy.
Don't tell that lie. Don't you ever tell that.
It's the absolute best.
Don't ever tell that.
So right now we have Army, Air Force, and Navy.
Well, we're covered.
Everybody's on the screen.
Everybody's accounted for right now. Okay.
Hey, I keep my
she's very passionate.
5356. A
passionate strategist who promotes financial literacy. Yes, she's always ready to enlighten you, to educate you on the financial and growth wherever she goes. While she served in the Navy, she traveled and learned not only the U.S., but foreign country financial systems. As she departed the Navy, she became a professional financial advisor and continues to take pride in serving families locally and nationally with proven strategies to promote and create generational wealth and financial confidence. That's what I love about her, because she wants to not do right now, but she wants you to train your mind, your money to work for you in the future. She's trying to give you strategies so you don't have to work hard for your money, that your money is working hard for you.
Yep.
And that's how I love her. She educates. She has worked in this industry over 20 years. And she is,
gosh.
And she continues to bridge the gap of proper financial planning to enhance family legacy. Building family legacy, that is what it's all about.
Hey, Nick, listen to what she's about to talk about.
She is a sought after speaker. She holds seminars for retirement strategies and untraditional concept in building wealth. We are elated to have Hannah here today to not only educate us, but everyone that's listening and those that will listen in the future about education and financial wealth. Thank you, Hannah, for coming on tonight.
Love you guys.
Love you. Hey, listen, before we get started, man, those that are on this live, please share the live. Please share, follow us on YouTube. Please make sure you share.
Continue to share, like.
Hit the hearts, like, share, all those things, man, so we can build this platform.
Like and share.
Yeah, like that. And then we want to also give a shout out before we get started of our one and only sponsor that we got right now. Let me see what shit. Come here, Kiana.
Oh,
y'all want to see the sponsor?
What?
We got
the owner operator.
We got the owner
of our sponsorship.
Let me see. There she is, the owner of J&K Style Grill, Miss Kiana. Hey, did y'all see her on the news today? Hannah, did you film it last night? You seen the news last night?
No.
Listen, I've been hounding her. I've been pounding in her head the importance of practicing. She used to get mad at me. Practice. I said, practice. You should, when you run into somebody,
you got to be ready.
Automatically you talking good.
You have to be
Introduce yourself. You should know how to introduce yourself within 30 seconds. It's just like a resume. You got 30 seconds to do an introduction. Yesterday, we went to that great food truck race that's in Newport News. And as we were walking up, I'm talking to her about the chefs and getting her mindset. And I walk up, just being a daddy that I am, I walk up to the chef, to the host of the Great Food Truck, Tyler, and talking about where we're from, because he's from the same, almost same, we're in the same area. Shake his hand, and then I turn my back and walk away. I teach her practice never makes you perfect, but practice will always make you prepared. So when I turned my back,
great.
he said to her, "You look like you." What did he say? What did he say? What did he say to you?
You look like you own your own.
You look like you. I ain't have to tell him nothing. He said, "You look like." And then when he said you look like, it was her responsibility from the practice that we put in to take the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Not only did she take the opportunity, but she had the longest segment on that news little tidbit thing. She had the longest, and they showed her talking to, and they showed the shaking of hands. And he said that she is the future of the next generation.
Next generation.
It's not about being perfect. It's about being prepared when the opportunity presents itself.
Yes. Yes.
Always been in position. And this for y'all out here too, before we dive into this. I always teach, I've been teaching this for a long time. You should be practicing every day your craft. Just know that somebody's going to open up a door of opportunity.
The door will open.
And
It will.
You're not prepared, the door will close. It does not mean you have
That
to be
too.
in it. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to be prepared to
Okay.
walk in the
That's
door.
right. Be ready.
Everything else will work
door.
itself out. There you go. There you go. Hannah, you ready?
Wait a minute.
I'm always ready. Not
All right.
ready, but I'm ready.
Tiana's trying to show us. I don't know.
Oh, that's so cool.
For them just to show everybody on television how much they really love what they're doing, how much they love the food.
I have 3 food trucks, 2 restaurants, and I wanted to come check out things like this to see what can I do to get my business out here.
Next generation. There you go.
I just met
I ain't just make that up.
Food truck race.
Are you a fan?
I am. I've been watching for a while.
How far did you drive and why did you?
All right, that's it. Let's get into this thing, Hannah.
Thank you to the host of the show, Tiana Dooley, and we are ready.
We are ready,
Miss
man.
Hannah.
Listen, those that are on, please get your pen, please get your paper, please be prepared to take down her information. We're about to dive in. Hannah, listen, it's a pleasure, privilege as always to have you on. I know we had to postpone last week because you had an emergency, which gave us and you more time to get ready.
Get ready.
Marriage and ministry.
Yes.
So listen, we did our own introduction of you. Let the people know who you are and what Hannah's all about.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Hannah, as they have shared, and simply put, I just love to make people wealthy. I feel like it is our right, and I think a lot of times we're just not prepared because we don't know, and so we don't know. Making mistakes out of ignorance is one thing. Making decisions when you know and don't do right, that's something else. So I'm just trying to close the gap, help us as a culture, as a people, to learn and grow so that 17, 15, 20, 25 years from now, what we do today definitely powers our tomorrow. Literally.
That's good. Did y'all hear that? What we do today definitely powers our tomorrow. Yeah. That was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah. You almost sound like you talk like I do.
We told you preach.
Not the preach.
So as always, man, we got a couple of questions we want to ask. These questions are based on financial literacy for couples. This podcast is based on couples ministry, couples working in business together, and couples in partnership. So we're going to talk about and get Hannah to give her some information, not a lot, because stuff she need to be giving out. Y'all need to be paying her for. Me too.
Yeah.
I ain't done. Listen, I dropped the ball because I owe all this money on my car. But her stuff ain't free. I tell y'all, we're expensive. This education we got, you don't get this stuff for free.
No.
So got to make sure that she don't give y'all some tidbits. She don't give you enough to make you want to seek her out and get what belongs to you. All right. Here's the first question, Hannah. What is the best advice for couples early in their marriage about starting their vehicle? I remember you used to tell me, and I was like, what vehicle are you talking about? But then I realized
I'm talking about that Bentley.
they're talking about the Bentley, right? Their vehicle of financial savings long term.
So the best advice I can give is, first of all, to get to know each other financially. That's number one.
Wow.
I think you learn what kind of ice cream they like, what kind of color they like, where they're from. But most people don't get to know their partners financially. Part of it you can observe, but ask questions. When you get to know each other, that is the biggest thing. Communication is key. I would say talk about it, have fun. Don't make it so serious. A lot of times when it comes to money, everybody gets so serious. You start writing your names and your foreheads and different things like that, because I think the pressure is on and it's understood, but in the same breath, when you're a couple, you're supposed to be a team. You're not supposed to be enemies. You're not supposed to be frenemies. You're supposed to be a team. You're supposed to operate as one. And so that would be the first thing I would say advice wise. I would also say set joint goals. Come together. Set your goals together. Of course, you're going to have separate ones, but set them together because then and get an understanding of what that looks like for each person. Like for instance, you guys have restaurants, right? So in that case, where one person may be okay with having one restaurant and operating very well, the other person might want a chain of restaurants and end up being 12 restaurants. That is something that needs to be communicated because in that case, then we both can see the same thing. We're looking at it the same way. Also, when it comes down to setting goals, talk about short-term goals. Talk about long-term goals. Don't just make it, simplify it, but not too simple, because you want to make sure short-term, you're meeting the need. Long-term, you're meeting the needs. You guys are working together. The thing about couples is about working together. The Bible says, how can two walk together?
Unless they're in
Unless
agreement.
they agree. So that is definitely a thing. I would say create a budget. Got to have one. Be it big budget, little budget, small budget, short budget. Have one, because then in that case, at least you have a guideline. Just like when you guys go get your marriage certificates, there's guidelines in those certificates. There's laws that come along with that. There's rights that come along with that, biblically as well as naturally. So you want to make sure you have a budget. Don't and let the budget be not your way or my way, but our way. Because when it's our budget,
that's good.
Right? When it's our budget, then we both put in. When it's our budget, then we're both growing. It's not I'm controlling it or you're controlling it. We are a team. That's what it's all about with couples. Definitely, I would say, to add to that, gotta have an emergency fund. Now, I have a rule about this, and it's a joke, really. It's not even a rule. Some people's emergency fund is $50. Some people's emergency fund, $500. Some people's emergency fund is $50,000. That needs to be understood, because if you say let's set an emergency fund, right, and let's say one person is coming from South Carolina. I don't want to use that. I'll use North Carolina. I'll use where I'm from. North Carolina. We are simple people. It doesn't take a lot to please us. You know what I'm saying? Most of us, not all of us, most of us, we are Southern. We're grateful. We're happy. And so it doesn't take a whole lot, but then you can meet somebody from California and their small amount could easily be $500,000. That's a communication that needs to be had. And I think most time people don't find things like that out. And that's why I said you got to get to know your partner. You don't find those things out. Usually people don't find that out until it's too late. Mm-hmm. When you don't talk about it beforehand, you don't get to know your partner beforehand. When you're finding out about it, it's at a very sensitive time. And usually when it's sensitive, it's not a good time to be talking about it. Right. By then, feelings are hurt, but it's burnt. Right. It's just really it's uncomfortable to have that conversation. So I would certainly say that. I would say automate as much as you can.
What is automate?
Automating is, so let's say for savings, you guys have a savings goal. Instead of manually putting that money over there, or
Got
wherever
it,
you
got it,
put
got it, got
that,
it, got it, got it. Yeah.
make it simple. Don't make life harder than what it is. Life is sweet, and it gets sweeter by the day if you live it right.
Now that's smart. That's good. But I think with that, sis, and help me out on this, I think that goes back to the main thing that you have been talking about, which is communication in the beginning, right?
Yes.
And one thing that we ran into early was we had lack of communication, but we had a lot of "I'm willing to learn you" communication.
That's a
If
good
we
thing, though.
learn
That's a good thing.
it's a good thing, but then in your learning, if we learn differently, it takes longer to get to the goal.
It does.
Because we're always constantly fighting for the understanding. I want to understand you. You want to understand me. We're butting heads. We're doing this. And because we're not listening in our communication, we're butting heads, then reaching goals.
Right. So that leads me to my next point. Communicate openly. Like I say, don't wait until things come up to talk about it. Make it fun. It could be a date night. It could be anything. You know, the thing with life is sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle, we don't have fun. Laughter is good for the soul. Sometimes it might hurt to laugh about it when it's in that moment. But if you make time and be intentional about what you want to do, even be intentional about learning, you won't get caught behind the 8 ball. That's communicating openly, because you want to make sure, as the word says, with all that getting, get understanding. You want to make sure that you understand your partner, how they think when it comes to money. It is the you can think you know, and you should never assume. That's one thing I will say. Because when we assume, I'm not gonna break it down because it's a
don't break it down.
But
we make donkeys out of each other, right?
Absolutely.
We assume that's exactly what we do.
You don't want to assume that you know what that person is thinking. You don't want to assume that you know what they're feeling and how they're going to operate. And then this is something cute that I think couples should do. And that is celebrate the milestones. Right?
True.
One thing people don't do, couples don't do. And if they would do it more, it would help a lot. Is celebrate the milestones, be it big, be it little. It's still important, because that means that I value and I celebrate you. I appreciate you. The Bible says everything give thanks. But you know, it's genuine, because if every time we talk about money, right, it's something bad, who's gonna want to talk about it?
You right, Buttercup. Right.
I'm not.
I don't either.
Here's the other thing that I found.
Here's one of the things that I found, and I speak openly in our marriage, in our relationship when we're on these platforms, because I want people see the laughs and everything, but they don't see the hurt and the pain. A lot of times, what I had to learn was I'm straight to the point, and my wife needs information. I don't need, and then because of that, it causes a roadblock in our willingness to listen to the other person, because we're not taking in consideration. I don't take in consideration. My wife needs 10 words, and all I need is 2.
Gotcha.
So sometimes I'm expecting her to be able to receive 2 words, just like I would.
Right.
Especially when it comes to finances and stuff like that. When I came into our relationship, I didn't have nobody teaching me finances, or I didn't have money saving skills. I didn't have any of that. I had go get it because I didn't have it. I'm making it. I want to do what I want to, type of thing, without having the sit down time to emotionally say, well, sweetheart, this is where I'm at with this. So she can get a better understanding. Okay, my husband isn't just out here just being wild. He just don't know. And it would have made better in our relationship, and her understanding of how to handle me.
And right? I think also to add with that, seeing it from the other person's eyes makes a huge difference. Or trying to,
That's good. That's good.
Asking questions also helps, but not asking questions to attack, asking questions to understand. There's a guy that I know, and his thing is seek first to understand, then be understood. Right? So in that case, when it comes down to you learned about Tanya learned about you, instead of being offended at the questions, be open. Okay, you asked me that. You can even ask, well, why did you ask me? You may think that she's trying to be funny when really she's just trying to get a better understanding.
Right.
Because a lot of times we live in a very offensive place. If we've come from a background where when questions are being asked, feel like we're being attacked.
Talk to me. You
know what I'm
talking
saying?
good.
So when you feel like you're being attacked, it makes you not want to open up. It makes you not want to answer questions when really, again, if we go back to the beginning, you guys are a team, right? I have coached basketball. A lot of people call me a life coach. I've coached in finances. And the one thing that is for certain, communication is key when it comes down to winning. It's also key when it comes to losing. Right? That is, communication is one thing, but understanding what you're hearing makes all the difference. So you're a 2-word person, she's a 10-word person. Okay. This is a person that's not going to let you run into a brick wall.
Right.
Okay. She's going to make sure you're not running into no brick wall, because if you run into the brick wall, what does that mean for her?
We run into the big wall.
Right. And then the same thing for you. You are an intuition guy. So where she might hear the words and might want to go with it, if you don't feel it in your gut, you won't budge. Right. So she also has to respect the fact of, well, if he's not feeling it, it must really be something wrong, because, so it's just understanding your mate, getting to know them, how they work, what makes them tick. And I think it helps. It brings more life to it, because finances is one of the reasons why a lot of people get divorced.
Absolutely.
I think it might be the number one, because people get cheated on every day and they forgive, but they mess that money up.
Right.
Hey, I can't forgive you for messing up my money, huh?
No,
I can't listen. That's a different kind of forgiveness. That really takes the 70 times 7.
Turning back.
That's real talk right there.
It's for real.
That was good. People cheat every day, but with cutthroat throat.
You better not cheat that money. You better not cheat with that money. Get Tanya.
Hey, been there, done that. Both of them.
Yeah, and you know what? But then you feel like you've been betrayed, because you guys are working for a goal. Hey, man, I'm over here working, and you giving everything away. That's something else you have to know. Are you married to a giver? Are you married to somebody that's stingy? Like, do you have to talk about everything? You have to, even down to tithing. Some people believe in it, some people don't. Even down to tipping when you go to restaurants. I'm a big tipper, right? But I used to be a server back in the day. So I'm not tipping you $2.50 unless you're horrible. Normally my tip's gonna be double digits, sometimes triple digits, depending on the season. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how I'm led. But the thing about that is, if I'm out with somebody who don't tip and they see me tipping, or if they're paying for it and I'm expecting them to tip, I'm be like, well, why you ain't tip? What's going on? You have to talk. You have to talk, and without offense.
Right. And I think that's key in what you're saying. Is my wife say this all the time, and as a matter of fact, I was talking to my brother about this morning. It's not what you say, how you say it, and I had to learn that. But also on the other end of that, if you know me, you know the intent of my words. It wouldn't always be that you're offended by it when you know the intent of what's being said. I'm not intentionally coming at you.
Right. Now, what I will say about that, my dear brother, sometimes
I ain't trying to hear. Go ahead.
Sometimes you may think that a person may know you. Right? Sometimes you may think they may know you, and it's not that they don't know you, but they may not know you in that light.
True.
I'll say it like that. She knows that you're a protector of her. She might not know if you're a protector of her money.
True.
Different situation. Clearly ain't nobody walking up on Tanya. They would be a fool. That's all I'm going to say at this time. But financially, people don't think like that.
Right.
Especially if you're a spender and she's not, or if she's a spender and you're not. You may be a future person that think about the future. Or you may be a person that operates in the now. She may be a person that thinks about the future. So that's where you guys have to communicate and also compromise, because it can't be all, let me rephrase that. It shouldn't be all one way or the other. You have to meet in the middle. That's important.
But see, so this question, and then we're gonna dive into some finances. This question, what I've learned is, what does the middle look like a lot of times, and sometimes we miss it in our conversation because it becomes the tick for tack, especially when it comes to finances. Like you gave a prime example. Tanya doesn't spend like I spend.
Okay.
I'm the right now. She's for the latter.
Gotcha.
And I've always been that way for a long time. I've been that way, but even before I married her, I've gotten a lot more. I've gotten a lot more frugal now with her. But here's the part I was trying to get to. I think sometimes it takes education and growth for you to be able to understand. Man, I'm getting older now. I ain't 30 years old. I ain't 30. It's a mature thing. It's a mature thing, and most men are very immature up until we reach into our 40s. When we get in our 40s, we usually start getting it.
Yeah, I think with the maturity, you guys are definitely eye people. It's what you see. But I know some women like that too. Now, hold on. They see that bag, honey, they're gonna get that bag. Okay. They see that pair of shoes, they're gonna get that pair of shoes, and the husband might be the frugal one. I think with that, really it boils down to, again, what your goal is. Because if we be honest, you may get to your goal a lot quicker if you don't do certain things right now.
Correct.
You feel what I'm saying? I just think it's having that mentality when you go to do what you want to do versus doing what you need to do.
Right.
As I was raising my daughter, I taught her, do what you need to do first so you can do what you want to do. Because if you do what you need to do, you can do a lot of what you want to do. But if you do what you want to do first, you're going to be out back with your needs.
You can be out back with your needs.
Back.
Now that's real good.
That's real good.
Now that's worth putting a sticker by right there.
Oh, okay. With the stickers.
Listen, you can put, man, I'm telling you, we dropping some gems over here. Y'all better be listening, man. Hannah, that was great, man. I'm gonna give you the second question. That was good.
Okay, thank you.
That was some good stuff right there. Man, I feel like I just got resaved with some of that.
Not resaved.
So for those of y'all that just got on, she said some key things in the first question we have for her. What's the best advice for couples early in their marriage to start their vehicle and financial savings? And the majority of the things that she was talking about was communication. Talk this thing out from the beginning and be open to listening to your partner, hearing both parties, listening to each other, getting better understanding. Number one, the financial perspective your spouse have, where the direction they're going in, set your goals. She talked about create a budget. Me and Tanya never created a budget when we first got married. Matter of fact, we never really sat down and talked finance. We just made sure the bills were paid, right? And then we were struggling too, because we came in as a family of, it was 6 of us.
That's a Brady Bunch. I love y'all.
Yeah, it was 6 of us. So me and my 2 sons, her and her 2 daughters. And so we never had time to really think. I mean, we got married quick. We moved in together fast. So there wasn't financial stability even discussed. And I never saw it. You know, my mother was a single mother out here trying her best to put food on the table and educate herself. So I never saw savings. I never saw that. So I live for the moment. I didn't have any, so we didn't have that. So other thing that she talked about is setting goals, small goals, big goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. And then something that she said that kind of resonated and stood out before we go to question number 2 is she said, seek understanding to then get understanding. Seek understanding to then get understanding. One of her friends tell her about that one. But that was a real good one. Stick a sticker beside that one. So those that are new couples, young couples, it is very important that you, number one, like what she said, communicate.
Talk about it.
Talk about money. Money is a major issue. Not understanding, I would kind of put these two, 1 and 2, not taking the time to understand your spouse in the conversation is number 1. For me, 1 or 2. And then talking about finances in the beginning is 1 or 2, whichever one you.
Not later.
Let's
talk about it now.
Let's discuss it now. But also because this is why I think it's easier to talk about it in the beginning, Hannah, than it is year 4, 5, 6. Talking about it. Is you're still in the enamored phase. you don't bother me that much. I want to have a lot of sex with you. I want to hold your hand and do all this. And with that, we're not going to have a whole lot of arguments.
Right.
Why? Because I want to have a lot of sex. I want to do all I don't want anything to interfere with me
Getting what I
enjoying
want.
the marriage, right?
Of course.
So I'm willing to sit down and listen without. I may not agree or even understand, but I'm willing to listen in this stage because this stage comes with something. Year 4, 5, and 6, we gain a better understanding of learning the other person, and we're gonna fight a little bit more. we're gonna have some fight
because there was some things you ain't say something about in the beginning.
Some things we ain't saying in the beginning. You're talking
it's
real
never too
good.
late. It's never too late.
That's true. That is very true.
That's very true, man. Did what I say, was it true?
Yes.
We went at a number phase.
But I'm telling you, honestly, in the beginning, and this is it's the puppy love stage is basically what you're talking about.
Correct.
That's when you're having the most fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would add this to it. If you're having the right conversation in the beginning, when things come, because you already had the conversation, it's okay to go back and revisit. Hey, when this was going on, you said we would rock like this. What happened? It doesn't come off so hard. Whether when you've never talked about it, now you talk about it. Why are you talking about it now? We ain't talked about it before. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might be a problem.
Right.
That's real good right there. We're talking good right now. So here's another one I have for you, Hannah.
Okay.
What are 2 common mistakes couples make when setting financial goals, and how can they avoid it, if possible?
It is possible. All things are possible. I would say setting the goals, set realistic goals, right? I am a dreamer. Like, my visions are huge. And so probably like you, I feel like I can conquer the world in 6 months. Whereas working with my partner would be, they may not see the 6 months where I would see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Tanya, for you would be like, honey, okay, I know you're saying 6 months, but really, if you look at it, it might take just a bit longer. Or how are you going to get it done in the 6 months? I think sometimes the how-to could make a difference in how quick we get there, because you may know some better things, better avenues, better strategies, whereas other people may not. You guys complement each other, right? So iron sharpens iron is very true. You complementing each other makes a huge difference. So realistic goals, I think when it comes down to that, they have to be realistic, because the more realistic they are, right? And I'm not saying to set them low. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying be realistic. When you're realistic about your goals, the how-to should be make it that much more simpler. So set the goals at a bar that you can actually attain it, because you don't want to set it too high and you feel like you never get anything accomplished.
Right.
That also goes back to celebrating the milestones. When you do get to that place, hey, let's celebrate. You know what I'm saying? You guys open up your restaurant. That was one. Then you open up another one. That was 2. Then you got the fruit. Those are things to celebrate along the way, because you never want to, what they say, you don't want to be out. You take time to smell the roses. When you are a hustler, and I know the life, when you are a hustler, you sometimes forget to stop and smell the roses. You sometimes forget to stop, and I hate to say this, and tell God thank you. Just for the small things.
That's good.
You're so busy asking him for the next thing. You got to tell him thank you for what you have now, because where you are now, were you there 10 years ago? Were you there 5 years ago? And I think that moment of gratitude, just to God, you guys together, that moment of gratitude to God is unparalleled. One, because it sets something off inside of you where you're on one accord, right? Because worship, of course, as we know, breaks barriers in ways that other things can't. Praise breaks barriers. And it's the same thing in finances. When you're growing, as you're coming together, worshiping together, praying together, those things make a difference. The other thing I would say would be forgetting to adjust and review. Right? So, where you guys are now in life, like I just said, you wasn't there 5 years ago. right?
Mhm.
Correct.
Normally what takes place is we just keep moving.
Correct.
But what if your goals shifted from where they were before? When would you realize it? Would it be too late? That's something that I think needs to be implemented with couples, because usually what takes place is you set the goal and you work towards it, right? No one ever knows if the goal changes. You don't have the same desires that you had when you was 25. You're not the same man.
No.
She's
Correct.
not that same woman. When
Correct.
you get 40, you hit another level. When you get 50, you hit another level. Your desires are going to change. Expect it and adjust to it. Don't just let it ride. Don't assume that because you talk about it in conversation that I automatically know what you're saying. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because there's certain things, like you said, that are important later that are not important at that time.
At the
Like
time.
most 25-year-olds are not thinking about who's going to take care of me when I get older. At 50, you start thinking, who's going to take care of me when I get older? You know what I'm saying? So those are things that I think need to definitely be implemented. Be realistic about your goal setting. Very realistic. Be honest, be open. And if someone says to you, if your partner says to you, well, babe, that's a good idea, but instead of it being 2 years, maybe it can be 5 years. Don't get mad, because that 2 years can make what you're doing, it can thrust you 10 years ahead. It makes
That
a
was good.
difference. You
But,
you
but you got to be. So me and Tanya have faced that same hurdle as well.
Okay.
Because I would tell her, "What's up, Charles? How you doing?" I would say, and I would say this to anybody. I'm 10 years, even to this day, I'm 10 years ahead of where my wife is at. My wife was never given the vision. I was given the vision, so I see it down there
Okay.
where she's trying to get me to understand and see where we are right now. And I'll run
Mm-hmm.
to get to year number 10 without actually taking the time to hear her in her communication
Got you.
of let's balance this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're going, and I know the type of person that you are, and you're going to set that goal and you're going to achieve that goal. But in achieving that goal, let's look at the finances. Let's look at the direction we need to
Right,
go in
right,
order to
right,
get
right.
there. Let's not jump the gun and blow all our money right now, and then 2 or 3 years down the line on this 10-year journey that we're supposed to be going on,
Mm-hmm.
the goals change or the
The dynamic may change.
dynamics of everything changes, but we've already blowed the money or blowed the finances that we would have had if we would have just taken our time and
And
probably picking up more finances.
that's one reason why it's important to have your money working while you're working. That's important. A lot of people wait until it's later in the game, excuse my language, to try to to try to get things going, and then you have to pay double time. But what you don't understand is you have to pay more the longer you wait. Now, yeah, you might be able to afford it, but if you can do it at a cheaper rate, you're a businessman. Come on now. What makes sense? You know what I'm
Now
saying?
just talk.
Just keeping it honest. You definitely want to position yourself, right? To
Right.
be able to dominate. You want to position yourself to win no matter what's going on. And if you a lot of people, and I applaud couples that save. You know, I applaud them because that's what you know. So every generation is supposed to get wiser, right?
Right.
We know things at this time that our parents did not know.
Correct.
And still may not know. Me even working in this field is a testament to that. My mom and dad are preachers, right? So, and my mom is a musician. My mother is not just a musician, I'm sorry, but she was a musician. She's always been a musician. My mom can get paid every week. No one's thinking about the later on when you can get the money whenever you want to, as long as your hands is going or that the voices, you're going to get paid. My dad, on the other hand, he's a business owner as well. So those things, when you're so used to getting it, you think you're going to be always able to get it.
Always able to
And
get
what
that.
putting your money in the right place does is, if I am no longer in that position, I have somewhere I can pull from that's been working just as hard as me, if not harder. The thing is, we are not aware of where we can put our money that will work 3 times harder than what we're working.
That's
And
right.
that is the downfall in America. Some of us know it, some of us don't. And the ones of us that do know it, Most of us are trying to do it, right? Or we are thinking, I can't afford to do that. And I tell people, if you get a penny, if you
Y'all
get two
listen to this.
pennies,
Listen to this.
you can afford to do what you need to do. You crawl before you walk. Don't jump off the ledge, but that means that you're working with the right person. Take your time because it is important to make sure that you are prepared. As you said, it doesn't mean things are going to come, but it's just like the flat tire on a car. Why in the world? And I'm a woman, you a man, I know you and Tanya probably, I know y'all don't have this conversation. Ain't no way. Do you hear me? There's no way on God's green earth. I don't even check the spare tire. I don't know what it looks like. I don't even know where it's at. What I know is if I get a flat, I'm going to make a phone call. I need you to come change this tire. That's what I know.
Right.
I haven't thought about if I didn't even know that the tires rotted out. That ought to tell you something. I didn't know that.
That's the news.
You see what I'm saying? But those things are important. So if we have a spare tire for our car, if we have a generator for our house, why don't we have vehicles for where our money should be at? Now,
before you go further, can you you use a key word and I'm gonna say this because when we initially talked and you were talking vehicle, I literally thought you was talking about a vehicle in general. But can you do just a little bit for those that are listening and watching what you call what exactly a vehicle is, so when they hear you say it again, they have a better understanding?
Okay, so vehicle can be it can be through like an index fund. It can be through a mutual fund. It can be through a stock. It can be through an annuity. It can be through an insurance. Anything that's going to grow your money safely. Safely is the word. There are a lot of things that make you money. A lot of things that make you money. And I'm gonna leave it at that. The reason why is because should I keep going, this is what people pay for. But I will say there are safe ways to grow some really good money and fast. And it's about what you know, but it's also about who you know. And I will say this, in my training years ago, I was trained, and the way I was trained was, pretty good, I would say. But what happened was, what I noticed is that sometimes people go out and they only give you what you ask for. Then you have people that advise you on what you need. And that is the difference. I do not claim to be a financial advisor. I don't. For more reasons than when a lot of people call me that. I'd rather you call me a coach or a strategist, because that's really what I do. I marry you to the right strategies that's going to get you where you need to go. It's not a cookie cutter or anything like that. But for me, when I know there are ways that I can get you where you want to be, and I go out with somebody and they don't tell you that, they've done you a disservice. That's just what it is at the end of the day. Now, have they committed a crime? They have not committed a crime. But have they served you? They have not served you.
Right.
They've given you what you asked for. Now, with children, and don't take this the wrong way, your child can ask for 75 lollipops. Does she need those 75 lollipops? Her teeth gonna rot out, right? But if you give her what she wants, you can't be mad. Is it the right thing to do? It's not the right thing to do. But is that what happens? It's definitely what happens.
Right. Right. So here's another question I have for you, and if it goes into the other spectrum, then you don't have to answer. But is there a like I got some friends that are just getting started, right? Just like me. Is there a bottom line minimum that a couple can start their investment line with, or to start their long-term financial start a long, like
there a minimum?
Is there a minimum they need to have as a couple? $500, $100. What is a minimum that makes sense? Not just a get start, but a minimum that makes sense.
That makes sense. I'm going to say it depends on their budget and where they want to go. There's no definite number for that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if I say, yeah, you need $5,000 to start, and you are just starting over, right? Just going through it. I mean, look at what's going on with the volatility of the market. Okay. I'm working with some people right now. They're losing money in their 401ks. I'm moving into safety so they don't lose any more money. But the whole point of the matter is, what you may think you have, you may not have. I can help people crawl before you walk, but then once we get walking, you're gonna be running. Not too long after that. You know what I'm saying? So I won't say there's a definite number. I will say we're going to be realistic, and I'm not a yes girl. I mean, you know that. You know,
Yeah, we know that.
I will go to the
I
left
can
on you
trust
quick.
that now. I ain't
Out of all
started
due
yet.
respect. But
Right.
reason why I say that is because I don't want to say it's a myth, but if you think that you have to have a certain amount to start doing anything, that's where the problem comes in at. And that's why our culture has not started doing a lot of things, because we thought that we had to be at a certain level. No,
Correct.
you have to grow to that level. Have someone to help you grow. It's all about growing. At this point in your life, you may only be able to put $200 away. Right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you can do more, I'm gonna tell you, you're shortchanging yourself. If you can't do that, I'll say this is where you need to start. Start here at least. Then we can reevaluate every year, every 2 years. That's why it's important to have someone in your life that's going to be there with you through the process, not just start you on the process. You don't want to do that, because if I start you and then leave you, when Kiana first started walking, if you let her walk, she would walk right into a wall. That's not going to get you any. It's not going to do you any good. So my job with what I do is to get you going, but to get you growing. Yeah, I tell people, I hope you like me, because I'm gonna be around. I'm not going nowhere for a long, long time unless the Lord take me out of here. And I don't think. I mean, I'm praying, but I don't think.
Right.
I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon.
I agree. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
that depends. That depends on their finance, where they are in their finances. But we can start somewhere.
And I think that's important, that there's a start somewhere conversation.
Yes.
Because just like you're saying, a lot of times we look at our finances and we have in our minds that I want to go long term, but also our minds will trick us into saying I don't have enough to even get started, because that little bit that I have, I can pay this bill with, instead of saying that little bit I have, I can put into a savings.
You know, I'm glad you said that. Paying bills is important, right? But there's two kinds of paying bills. And this is how I like to get my clients at. I like for my clients to live off the interest. If you can pay your bills off the interest, then life is good. That's where I like for my clients to be at.
Y'all hear
because
that?
In that case, your bills gonna always be paid. We're making it harder. It's not as hard as we think. You just got to be in the right place at the right time. That's just all it is. We live off the interest.
Live off the interest. That's what she's saying. Man, y'all better be locking in on this thing, man. Listen, at the end of this, she gonna give y'all number. She gonna give y'all the information to connect with her. And I'm talking to myself. The only reason why I haven't done as much as I need to right now is because I got that big bill on my back. But I have it off in a minute. And she been fussing at me for a year now. She been fussing at me
longer. Longer.
Maybe a little long, maybe a little bit long. But listen, man, y'all better connect and do. It's been longer than that.
Yeah.
But I need to tighten up. I'm talking from experience. I'll be transparent when I talk.
Yes, you
are.
I
don't lie to nobody.
I appreciate that. I do.
Yeah, don't lie. Listen, that way, I people know they can trust me and my wife whenever we talk.
Absolutely.
I'm lying to you, man. And I'm dropping the ball myself, but I ain't gonna be long. Yeah.
You're not, because I'm not gonna let you be long.
And you ain't gonna let me. I'm listen. I'm gonna tell my wife to just go ahead and take everything out of my what's the name and give it to Hannah.
Tanya, here we go. Let's rock.
Okay, you said it.
Okay, listen, with witnesses.
with witnesses.
Yes. All right.
So I'm gonna do it with y'all. Whoever's on here, y'all hook up with him. I'm gonna do it with y'all. We're gonna get it started. For the last 2 years, I actually been saving, because I was that live for the moment. I really was. I wanted what I wanted because I worked hard to get it.
Absolutely.
And I didn't have it years ago, and I'm in a position now that I can get what I want to get. I got what I wanted to get. Did it pan out all the time? No. It felt good for the moment. Why? Because I was able to get it. But I like what you're saying about living off the interest. That right there is another key
Honey,
point.
that's a game changer.
That's a game changer.
That's a game changer.
Listen, guys, y'all that are watching, learn how to live off the interest. We'll do it together. Y'all do it with me, I'll do it with you. We're going to live off the interest this year. 2025, we're going to start, right? We're going to start with, I'm putting my first bid in with 5,000. How about that?
Okay.
That ain't enough.
With it. You can do something with that.
She said something. I want to. You
know.
Okay. 10,000. Are we doing 10,000 this year? I need more.
10,000 you can start.
10,000. Okay.
But
let me tell you something.
Has a plan,
a
strategy.
There are bonuses that are being given out as we speak on deposits. That's all Hannah's going to say right now.
What she say? Repeat that, because I wasn't listening.
There are bonuses.
There are bonuses
that are being given out. On deposits as we speak.
As we speak. Okay.
Okay. He got it now. He
better get it. Because now what that means is, just to veer off for a second, what that means is that's free money. So when everybody I want this, I want that. If you have money in savings, I promise you, I can make you more money than your money just sitting in savings.
That's right.
If you have old 401ks or old TSPs or old 547 accounts, and that money's just sitting there, you putting your money in a better place, you can get money just from making a decision to move your money
right
to the right place. It's all about what and who you know. I got a company that's giving a 15% bonus.
15% bonus.
I mean,
y'all better be. Listen, I told y'all to be writing this stuff, man. Y'all better be. Don't say you don't know. Those 5.
And I will say it's not gonna last forever. That's one thing I want everybody to know.
She said it ain't gonna last forever. Those that are on here right now, and you have, listen, reach out to her, Hannah Rouse. Reach out to her tonight. Don't wait, but not tomorrow. Let's do it. She's off the clock now. First thing in the morning, if you want to see your finances work for you, find Coach Hannah.
And it doesn't matter what your occupation is.
That's
Pastor, lay lead, anybody, whether you're in the military, whether you're a business owner, everybody needs to be saving up for the future to let your interest work for you, or so you can live off your interest.
Yes.
Everybody needs to be reaching out to her now.
NOW, capital, all capital letters.
My daddy used to spell all the time. NOW.
All right, here's question number 3. I want to stay on number 2, but we're gonna go to number 3. I'm gonna stay on number 2 for one more second.
Okay.
Webster, listen to me, man. I want you to listen to me. Chef Carlton, I see you on here. We need to reach out to Coach Hannah, right? We need to, those TSPs, the savings that we're doing, all this, we need the 401k.
Y'all better move that money.
All that stuff. We need to learn how to move money and make money work for us. So we're not all the time chasing what can be working for us in our sleep. Man, I just gave y'all, listen, I'm helping her out. Hopefully she give me
yeah, I got you, bro.
Listen, these guys that's on here, the people that's on here, don't lose out on the opportunity to get wisdom and know it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you something. It has to cost you something. But what you're getting on the back end is going to be way more valuable than what it's costing you in the beginning, because you'll have longevity and you'll start seeing your finances finally working in your favor instead of you working for it. That's what I'm telling you, Webster. You need to know the young lady that's on here, Hannah. Yes. Her name is Hannah Rouse, Coach Hannah Rouse, man. We're going to get the information to you guys, man. She at the end of this thing, she's going to share her information. That TSP you got with the military, brother, you need to turn that TSP into Then you turn yours over.
We're working on it
We're
right now.
So TSP turning it back end is where it's always at, man.
Right.
You want to make sure that you're turning your money into let your money be the workhorse.
That's right.
While you sit back and prepare yourself for retirement. Chef Carlton, whoever else is on here, me and you've had these conversations before, man, where we need to make our money work for us and stop just giving it away or blowing it or whatever else. Those beautiful girls you got, setting the future for them beautiful young ladies that you have, and all that, man, for you and your wife when y'all retire, man, all that stuff. This is the opportunity for us to put our words into actions now. And someone that is knowledgeable, honest, and trustworthy. You know them, the only Chef Carlton, you know, Webster, you know, them the only people I deal with. You got to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of me and honest and have integrity in the things that you do.
We love Hannah.
We love Hannah. Who is that?
Capri Elmore.
Oh, that's one of my she's also one of my clients.
Oh, okay. Well, Caprice, you already know. I don't got my glasses on. I thought that was a dude. I was gonna say, man, don't make me. Business
What is going on, Lord?
We ain't trying to set no dates up, but Caprice now see as a female.
No. We're not setting up dates with Caprice. Caprice is married.
No, I'm talking about you. I thought that was a dude. I was like, man, we ain't up here trying to make no dates with Hannah. We're trying to make money with Hannah.
I do love you guys, but no, thank you. I'm good.
All right, listen here. We're gonna get one more question in, man. Y'all got any questions for Hannah? Please type them in the comments before we get off of here. We probably got another 5, 10, however long she go. 5 more minutes or something like that. Here's question number 3, Hannah. You ready? This is the last one.
Okay.
That's the last one. What are the biggest financial pitfalls business owners and couples make that could affect their long-term savings?
Underestimating.
Let me write that down. Underestimating.
Underestimating living expenses. Underestimating life. I respectfully say life is always lifing. And no financial discipline.
Ooh, wow.
Sorry, guys. I wish this was the first question.
Ouch.
Sorry, but those 2 things, honestly. First of all, now, you know, we all were there. I'm a spades player. Okay, to the core. You
don't be putting the card on your forehead, do you?
Listen, you can get the business. Do you understand? I am from North Carolina, and that is what we do. Anyway, when you underbid on the space table, you set yourself up for failure. You're supposed to overestimate so that if there are shortcomings, you're always in abundance. If you underestimate, you're always in lack. Because anything can catch you off guard. You're not prepared. So say we're going on a trip, right? This is just hypothetically speaking.
Wait a minute. Keep going. Wait a minute. My mind is blown right now. That last phrase you just, I'm trying to dissect that, and you trying to move on.
Okay, I apologize. Let's pause for the calls.
Wow, listen. I got goose. Look at this. I'm not even exaggerating. What you just said, man, was I want to use the term "smack in my face," man, and smack in my face of wake up, kind of smack. That phrase that comment you just made was, man. If I don't get nothing else out of this conversation, and I can't even repeat what you just said, but we can play it back though.
We can't play it back.
We can play it back. But that thing, I can't drop the gem.
Yeah, Capri said you can't drop that gem and move on.
That's what I'm saying. Fight that thing. She dropped that gem.
Fire.
And that, I don't even know if you can repeat it. Can you repeat what you just said before we start? Let's go.
Underestimating. Do not underestimate. Do not underestimate life and living expenses. When you underestimate, you will be in lack. If you overestimate, you will always be in abundance or have overage. You want, and that's what you want in life.
Wow.
You want to always, first of all, this is a Christian podcast. God is the God of more than enough.
Yes.
All right. So if he's the God of more than enough, then why would we underestimate that? The more and under don't even, it goes opposite directions, right? Then the other is lack of discipline. Discipline is important. And I will say, discipline will get you further in life, honestly, than always giving yourself what you want. And keyword is always. I'm not saying to not. You have to bless yourself, but you also have to discipline yourself, because life is not promised, right? But I'm not saying that in a negative way. My grandmother on my mother's side lived to be 96 years old. My grandmother on my father's side lived to be 86, 87. I'm in my 40s. So if I'm underestimating now, what is life going to look like for me when I'm my grandmother's age?
Right.
What we don't do, we don't look farther enough. Like you say, you're 10 years ahead, but I would say you need to go a little bit further, because how you want your life to be when you're in your 70s, that's what you plan for today. Make sure you're in a position so that you can live how you want to live when you're your grandparents' age. You know, my grandma, my grandma was blessed. Okay, she was very frugal woman. I mean, on my mom's side, I mean, very frugal. And I noticed that and paid attention to that at a young age. I was like 10, and I was like, man, I wanted to be. My grandma didn't believe in payments, right? And I get fussed at right now, but I'm a faith girl, so I have to put one and two together. I hate payments, but it's not because I can't afford to pay it. Number one, I believe that means that I'm giving them more than what they deserve. Right. And I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. If anybody gonna get extra payments, it's gonna be Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not that you can't do it. Now, houses and things like that, of course, but you don't pay them the extent of that term, because they have already factored in how much they're going to be making. That's number one. Number two, they getting their money before you get your money. Okay? Mm-hmm. You guys are homeowners and all these other kind of owners. You're paying interest. When you're paying interest as well as principal, that means that the bank is getting paid. Principal goes to you, interest goes to the bank. Now, you guys are homeowners. What get paid first? Interest. They're going to make sure. So it's better to position yourself, right, that you be the one receiving the interest. Because if I'm receiving the interest, like I said, then I can give you, I'm not saying don't give them what they deserve or what they owe, but you definitely don't owe, pay yourself. Take care of yourself, take care of your house, because that house is going to take care of you, yes, if you take care of it, right? But you guys are indispensable. Who you are to Tanya, no one ever can be that person. Who she is to you, you guys are invaluable. So you have to protect that financially. You have to discipline yourself financially. It's just like losing weight, working out, training, those types of things. Your mind has to be conditioned, right? Discipline is a huge part of conditioning. It is. And mentally, you have to condition mentally first. That's why communication is key, because you guys are working as a unit. You're bonded as a unit. You become one. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you are one, it shouldn't be a thought that she's not thinking that you don't even hear. That's because good. You're operating together in sync. Now, you guys are operating together in sync. So when we are in our, I'll say 90s for y'all, right? When we're in our 90s, instead of our children, okay, which this is what some cultures have been subject to, instead of our children having to shut their lives down because we did not properly prepare for those years, we can set up what we need to set up now so that when that time comes, one, we can be a blessing to ourselves. Two, we can be a blessing to our children and our children's children. That's the word. It's the principles that are they're right there in our face, but I think in many times we don't know how to marry the two. This is when working with a person like me comes in, because you got to know how to marry. A lot of us want to do things, we just don't know how to do it.
Right.
Learn the how to. And you have to be able to listen to someone. You can be the best teacher on earth, but if you are not a learner, your skill set is limited. I'm still learning today. I never stop learning in my craft.
Never stop learning.
It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what comes, what goes. If I'm not still learning, then I'm giving y'all stale bread. Don't nobody want no croutons all day long.
Right.
Okay, only on salads. When you give me a sandwich at that restaurant, if my bread is stale, I'm gonna be mad.
You're gonna be hot.
You don't want my job in my discipline is to give you guys fresh, straight from God. That's what it is. Nothing else.
So Caprice said, prepare for the future now. Capital letters.
Yes, absolutely.
Tina Turner insured her legs just in case something happens. She was prepared.
She was prepared. That was how she made her money. So you got to think, what we are conditioned to think that what we do now will always be. That's not the truth. Your body, we have telltales when you look in the mirror. I mean, I do. I don't know about y'all. You still look good, but I'm just saying, the 40-some-year-old Hannah don't look like the 20-some-year-old Hannah.
Don't look, listen.
And not even look, good. Don't feel like the 20-some-year-old Hannah. You know, respectfully, I know, my clubbing days, I'm feeling my clubbing days right now. So I know for sure, the difference that it makes, but my job is just to, like I say, I have fun with what I do. As couples, you got to have fun. You have to have fun. Don't make it so serious. Don't make it so daunting. Make it fun, because when it's fun, then you're going to get the best out of it. I do work in insurance. Okay. But I tell people we have something where you can like plan your final stuff, final expenses. But I tell people, don't wait till you get a cancer diagnosis to start wanting to plan your funeral. That's the dumbest time to do. I'm not trying to be funny. Right. That is the dumbest time to do it.
That's true. But in our culture is taught, we're taught to especially the older, now the newer generation, because they're dying so fast and all this stuff. I think they're a little bit more prepared. You don't see as many GoFundMe's like we used to maybe 10 years ago. They still out there,
right?
But I think at the age that we're in, the older generation would say, let's not jinx ourselves and be prepared for the final stages until it's time to talk about the final stages. But now we're becoming, in our generation, becoming more educated with life insurance, the life insurance policies, and learning how the life insurance policies are set up for the next two generations down the line. Because that's how the other cultures were doing it.
That's what I was going to say. We are looking at life insurance the wrong way, way wrong. Okay. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Reach out to Rouse for the rest.
Yeah, I gotta cut it off because I know me, it flows out of me like water. So I know I have to. I'm telling you though, if we understood the power of what our name and our health could do in certain scenarios, you would not trust any other institution other than your own name. Your name alone can change your family's legacy alone without having to go outside of you. Seriously. But if you don't know that, and if you don't know how to operate, if you don't know how to manipulate, I hate to say that word, but that's what it is, then you're not going to understand. And when I was doing my seminars, I would tell people, you got to know when you're playing checkers and when you're playing chess. We've been taught checkers.
We've been taught checkers for a long
time. This is chess all day. All day long. Got to get out of checkers game. Checkers will let you move all over the board recklessly. You have to be strategic with chess. You can't just move everywhere, anywhere, because you're going to lose early. It is important. And I still say and go back to this point. We are believers of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. The richest of all is who we serve.
Correct.
There's no way on God's green earth in
Right.
my life that I'm going to be subject or limited when I serve a limited God, a limitless God. I'm not going to do that.
Yep. Right.
I'm going to trust what he has me to do. I'm going to obey what he tells me to do. And I'm going to grow because that's how it's supposed to go. We're making it hard because of skepticism. And I will say this because I know it's out there. And I appreciate skepticism, but I'm going to tell you this right here. Some cultures are skeptical. All cultures are skeptical. Let's be honest. You don't know me from a can of paint, right? Okay. Y'all know me, but everybody else don't know me. So skepticism in some cultures that look like us, I'll say, won't give you a dime, right? Skepticism in other cultures will give you 10 cents. And if you make my 10-cent grow, then I give you $1. And if you make my dollar grow, then I give you 50. This is why we are 30 years behind financially. Because being scared and being skeptical, living in fear and operating in fear financially has kept us from trying to see. You ain't got to give your whole life savings, but honey, you need to put something to work. Put it to work. If your money is working harder than you're working for it, you won't even have to work long. You know why retirement is big? And then the people that retire, God bless them, most of the time, what they've saved up is not even enough to sustain them.
Correct.
Right.
That's me. I'm still starting to get my savings, so I'm with it.
You, brother, gonna get it together.
I've been honest though.
No,
I didn't start saving till I just turned 49. I didn't start saving money until I was like 46 and a half.
This is my question. Why? Because it's the why.
Here's number one. Here's number one reason why. This is the number one reason why. And it's going to sound crazy, but it's my truth and it's my honesty. I didn't think I would live to see 35 with the life that I was living prior to getting married to Tanya. So for that, I wanted to enjoy everything everything about it. And then, like I was saying earlier, I didn't start maturing and getting greater understanding until I reached 40. In my mid 30s and getting into the late 30s, coming out of the military, I start seeing things. Man, I've made it past 35. Let me start really looking at what the ladder looks like. Okay. And then when we opened up the business, financially, we didn't have money coming in for the first 4 years, exactly 4 years, almost 4.5 years. We took no money in. So that put me at about 42. And then we started getting some money. I had already blown the little bit that I had. And we was kind of trying to, I ain't gonna say my wife, because my wife has always put back. She probably got $1 million or $2 million sit back. I don't know what she's doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But for me, I didn't start when I got to the mindset, man, God has a purpose for me, and it's not short term. It's when I start seeing start understanding the importance of putting back. Okay. When I first put back my first $2,000, 2,000 looked like 200,000 to me.
Of course,
I had never got. I had enough. If something happened, I could do what I want because money was always coming in. But I never had it in a position where it was sitting and I didn't touch it. And then when it turned into 5,000 and whatever, then it started being like, okay, well, man, maybe I'm disciplined enough now. But again, it's only been like really just 2 years of me really saving where I'm starting to see my maturity in saving. I was never taught it. I was just always live for the moment.
I think because you are a go-getter. Because I'm being transparent. I'm hard on you because I was hard on myself. When you can make money hand over fist like this, you're not thinking about saving because you always think you can get that money like that. That's the real truth. I know what you're saying with the age and everything, but you've always come into money. So when it's easy for you to get it, you're not really thinking about never being able to get it. You're just thinking, well, I just go and get it again. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Just said that yesterday.
It's nothing wrong with being positive like that, but you have to be realistic. The times, even if you can go and get it again, how do you know it's going to be available again?
Correct.
So you're banking on you when what you do comes from the outside of you. You feel what I'm saying?
Correct.
So that's why I asked you why, because a lot of people will tell you whether or they don't tell you why. I wasn't taught financial discipline. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, honey. I lost everything I had when I got out the Navy. I'm not lying to you. I lost my storage. I lost my house. I lost my cars. I lost my savings because nobody taught me. Nobody taught me anything. I just had a very good gift, like you. And then I started getting trained, right? Because of my gift. Your gifts do make room for you. Because of my gift, I was brought in to a very well-established firm, and they taught me the ropes. They taught me everything they knew. Had it not been for that, where I am right now, I wouldn't even be able to be on you like I am. But I know we don't know or didn't know what was out there.
That's true.
So the mistakes that we were making were not decisions. Now, I call it a decision when you know to do right and you do wrong. It's a mistake when you're ignorant to what's out there and you don't do. Right? Coming to the knowledge. And then the other thing is you're a grandparent now. Technically, there are generations of wealth in you right now.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
What you do now should take care of at least 3 to 4 generations. But it has to be structured properly. If it's not properly structured, yeah, your kids and your wife gonna be okay, maybe your grandkids, but after that, that's gonna be it, bro. That's it. You want your money to last for generations to come. So much so until they never see your face, but they know who Granddaddy Dooley is.
Correct.
Everybody got that person. Well, honey, I got a rich aunt. I got a rich grandma. You know, everybody got that person. I think what it is instead of it just being one person in the family, my goal is that your entire bloodline is blessed. Because when your bloodline blessed, then that's what starts changing communities. That's what starts changing cities, states, and we have to stop gatekeeping. Start sharing.
That's good. That's good.
Start building. Because what's happening is things are being built around us. And when things are being built around you, you are now in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
What gets you out of that prison,
that's
right?
Good.
That's really
what gets
good.
you out of that prison is being able to play the same game that's being played and make the same gains that's being made.
That's good.
Then we level out the playing field and the conversation changes. Because now I don't have to come to you to get a business loan. I don't have to come to you for a loan on my house. I don't have to come to you. I got my own money and I got my own people. We just got to level it out. So we got work to do, but it can be done. And that's all I say tonight. You know, I did have some scriptures, but I'm not, you know, let y'all do. I'm sorry.
That is good.
We have on stage.
Man, we have been blessed tonight. Listen, we've been blessed tonight. Those that are on and you got some of this information, man, if y'all don't, you guys got to replay this. Share this live out, please.
Oh,
so many nuggets that was dropped tonight. I'm gonna reshare this for the next week. Every day we're gonna reshare this. I want as many people to hear this and reach out to her with some of the information. Some of the stuff she said blessed me tonight, and she's been beating me up for a while. But yeah, and I let her get away with it. But definitely want you guys that are on here, and you guys want to get some financial stability, get some financial gain, financial understanding, reach out to Miss Hannah. Hannah, tell us how to reach out to you.
All right. So you can call or text me. I prefer text first, please. And I will put my information in the chat. But my number is 757-550-0660. Again, that number is 757-550-0660. That's just the best way. You can DM me on Facebook if you need. I am on Instagram, but you know I'm a little old school. So DM me first on Facebook, or either text me. The best way is to text me, to be honest. I am very approachable, and I will
Very
certainly
approachable. Very approachable.
I'm not. I promise to meet you where you're at, but I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to respectfully blow smoke. I'm not going to have you out here because I do believe you reap what you sow, and Hannah loves Hannah. I mean, I love you guys too, but I love myself.
Got to love you, man. I love me some meat. I ain't even lying to you. I love it.
Absolutely.
Brother, you done had the most time out of anybody on my daggone platform. Our platform. Yeah. We ain't never had nobody on this long, man. I usually get in and get out. But listen how good God has been, man. God, I think it's been a whole setup. For the last 5 weeks, we had Dr. Tigney on talking about the well-being of the mental well-being.
It's important.
If we're talking about this is mental, especially when it comes to couples trying to financially get themselves together, talk about these things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a mental state with that. And then we talked with Chris Carrington got on. We talked about finances in business, knowing your numbers and all those things. And then we talked about the Jodeci effect, communication. Come and talk to me. I really want to hear about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. And then now we're talking with Hannah Rouse. Hannah Rouse got about 2 hours out of me. I ain't never got nobody.
It's all else
got about 35, 40 minutes on me.
Listen, we live in an economic world. Do you understand?
Yes,
we live in an economic world, honey. That money got to be right.
Money got to be right. Man, listen here, Hannah. It's been such a pleasure and honor to have you on with me and this beautiful woman I call wife, my benediction.
Absolutely.
Man, and I'm glad we were able to work things out where you can get on and share some of this wealth of knowledge, because there's a lot of people that need to hear this. I think a lot of folks that I know that I have associated with, sometimes we get scared to talk about the long term. And I think you said something key, and I'm gonna get off of here, but you said something key about when are we looking at our 70s and 80s that we can take care of ourselves, 90s that we can take care of ourselves, and not depending on our children. That was key. That was really key to me, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been saying I want to set my daughter up so when we get old enough that she's taking care of us the same way we took care of her. When I should have been looking at it from a different perspective of let's get her set up so she can only be concerned with her family, and me and my wife set up enough that we can be concerned with in our latter years. Don't have to bother her and her family.
It's not too late.
It ain't too late. It ain't too late.
Nah,
especially if we got another 30 years in us. 40 years, yeah. I put 40 years in being reckless. I can put at least another 20 or 30.
Come on now. Come on. Absolutely. Balance the books. Balance those books.
Yeah, Hannah, it was a pleasure indeed to have you in there dropping those nuggets, and informing us, coaching us on what we should be looking for, changing our perspective. And that's what it's all about in marriage, business, and ministry. Having a conversation, communicate, so we can move forward in a better light, in the better knowledge, in the better doing things differently. Y'all, it was a pleasure. Thank y'all so much for joining. If y'all would, please share, like, subscribe, visit the YouTube channel, Marriage, Business, and Ministry, and we will be looking forward to see you real soon.
We got to do this again, Hannah.
Absolutely.
We got to figure out how to do it again, or what part 2 looks like.
Gotcha.
I think there's a part 2. I think there's a part 2 that has to be done. And I haven't said that. I want to do a part 2 with Chris as well, especially for those business owners. I know a lot of small businesses that are going out of business, mainly because we don't know our numbers. We don't know how marketing is supposed to be in those things. But I think there's a part 2 in this, and the part 2 needs to have. I'm working on it. It's rolling in my head right here.
Maybe you can talk about vehicles.
Maybe we need to talk vehicles. That's vehicles, and maybe we need to do it in a setting where we turn these off and we have 5, 6, 10
That's
people.
That's what we need to do. In-house.
And do it in-house.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
In-house.
In-house. Yeah. And then so people can hear. And then the third, when we do part 3, they pay $250 fee to get in.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
All about the Benjamins.
All about them.
All about it. But yeah. I feel the Lord is saying part 2 is necessary.
Okay.
We'll reach out and then see what your schedules look like. I think vehicles is it to a certain extent, because we want them to be able to get free get a free tickle, get a free tickle, and pay for this giggle. They're gonna have to pay for this laugh.
I like that. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. I give them,
a little bit.
They'll get a they can get a little sample, but a sample ain't gonna make you no money.
It ain't gonna make you no money.
All right.
We got to get it here for these laughs to make this money.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, sis.
All right, y'all.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Love you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Love you too. You
All
guys
right.
take care. All right, Tanya.
Yes, sir.
All right, signing off.